Coming to you live from the Business Radio X studio, it's Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by IDS, an award-winning digital marketing agency that delivers integrated marketing solutions for franchisors, franchisees, and franchise development teams. Learn why over 75 brands depend on IDS's team of dedicated marketers and client service professionals to deliver a strong ROI on their marketing investment. Go to idsfranchisemarketing.com for a complimentary digital audit and consultation.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Marketing Radio. I'm Rob Ganley, your host, and I am here today, and I love these types of businesses. We talk to a lot of people in a lot of industries. I love fitness, and I love health and wellness, so because I always learn something, and I need to keep learning. So it's good to have Terri Harof. She's the Director of Global Franchise Development at, Workout Anytime. And I don't want to say any other fitness brand that sounds similar. So Workout Anytime is the brand. It's great to have you, Terri. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you. So tell me a little bit about Workout Anytime. How did the brand come to be? You're a fitness brand, but tell us a little bit of how you serve folks and how you came to be involved with the brand.
Sure. So the founders of our company, John Q and Steve Strickland, they started the company 22 years ago, and they didn't open Workout Anytime to franchise. They just thought that they had a great idea, which was to open 24-hour clubs. And all you have to pay back in those days is their big marketing message was 24 hours a day for $24 a month for 24 months. And so that's what the marketing message was. And they opened their first location in Douglasville, Georgia, 22 years ago. And that location is still open today, all these years later. It's actually our smallest location. It's just under 5,000 square feet, but it's still open today and it's still making money, which is awesome. And they added to their mix of clubs, and they got up to 8 locations that they owned personally. And the clubs were doing really, really, really well. The 24-hour, $24 a month for 24 months really resonated with a lot of people. And we had several members who spoke to John and Steve about wanting to own a Workout Anytime. And that's literally how we got into franchising. So it happened organically. So 5 years in, they started franchising, and they brought on board a gentleman. His name is Randy Trotter, who's also a partner with Workout Anytime now, but they brought him on board just to help with franchising because he had been involved with franchising several different brands. And so he helped introduce them to an attorney. They got the FDD together, and then of course started franchising. And we did grow organically. We opened our first franchises here in Georgia, and then we moved to Tennessee, and then to North Carolina, South Carolina. And now we are in 22 states, from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine. We're also international. We've got locations in Central America, in Honduras, as well as in Costa Rica. We're actually speaking to a group right now who's interested in opening in Spain. We're speaking to another group who's looking at opening in Israel, which is interesting. So lots of growth, both domestically and internationally.
Yeah, that's exciting. I had a lot of questions. You shared a lot of really good stuff there. I wanted to first start, just wanted to ask you real quick, because you opened with so that the initial marketing that you did was 24, something very memorable, right?
Right.
Let me ask you about that message, because that's kind of a little bit about your brand, like the easy access of it. And I know other brands, some people do this, some don't. But it's a 24/7 operation, right? So you can go there and work out whenever it's convenient. Is that right? That's part of
24/7, 365. And we do, of course, have staffed hours. But the beauty of our business is, say your quote unquote opener has a flat tire and can't get to the gym on time. Well, it's business as usual because your members have got access to the club. 24/7, 365. And a lot of people join our gym because of the fact that we are open 24 hours a day. Not that they really come at crazy times. Most people do come, normal gym times. But people really do like the fact that they know that they can work out at 3 a.m. if they want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I know that's unique, right? And I know 22 years ago, it would have probably really been somewhat unique. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying about that message. It must have really resonated well and helped, really make you guys unique. And that's, of course, what led to the success in such a short time. When you really break down what you described, those early years were pretty quick, and then you guys became a franchise. But it was all that early success. And yeah, just thinking 22 years ago, what that message looked like compared to today. So tell me a little bit about the brand, because when you hear the name, it's obviously letting you know that it's a flexible anytime kind of thing. And so tell me about that brand and how does that message work today? And is there, other things you've added, other unique angles that make it special today that you just notice that your market needs, right? As things have evolved.
Well, you've got to evolve. I mean, you've got to stay fresh, and we listen to our consumers. So there are things that we add on. We now offer infrared saunas, which we never used to do that before. We've got red light therapy. We before used to have hydro massages. Now we've got the hydro lounges, which are more comfortable. They're easier to get in and out of. We've got Staiku, which measures your body fat, and just a variety of different amenities that can help our members really truly get into the best shape they've ever been in. And we consider ourselves the best workout per square foot in the industry. So we use top of the line matrix commercial grade equipment. So we've got fantastic strength equipment, fantastic cardio equipment, but the big thing that people are looking for now is recovery. And so we also have a great recovery zone for our members. And that's something, that we evolved to. When our founders first opened Work at Any Time, they both had been in the business for many, many years. John Q actually was my first boss when I got into the business in college. He was the vice president of American Fitness Center here there was actually a big brand based in the Southeast, but I worked at American Fitness Center here in Georgia in college. And so I've got big box experience, with the racquetball courts and swimming pools and huge aerobic rooms and daycare and, tracks, indoor tracks and everything. And they decided they wanted to simplify it. And that's how they came up with Work at Any Time. And they said, you know what? Based on experience, most people, what they're looking for in a gym is strength equipment and cardio equipment. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we have. And we've got the best of it. Now we've got the recovery area, which is awesome. We also offer personal training, and personal training is a whole nother business within the business. And, I would say one of the things that probably separate us from a lot of other brands is not just the fact that we offer it, but we teach our franchisees how to offer it and how to do it profitably. So the training program is actually called PPT, Profitable Personal Training. And we've got our two VPs of personal training are unbelievable. We actually met them because they were doing personal training for some of our corporate locations, and they developed the whole training program and did incredibly well. And so we wanted to take, a lot of times with your corporate locations, you do your beta tests, you try things out. If things go well, you roll them into your franchise. And that's exactly what we did with Brandon and Crystal, who are our VPs. And they train they train our entire group, or all of our franchisees, and they're personal trainers who work within the locations. And they do a fantastic job. And we're seeing during COVID, when we had some extra time to work on different things, one of the things that we really put a huge emphasis on was our personal training and the training of our personal training. And we're seeing just incredible numbers across the board on the personal training revenue alone. And then, of course, you've got your membership base. You've got your members who are paying their monthly dues to be able to have access to the club. And, the nice thing for our franchisees is the recurring revenue, the fact that they know that they've got X amount of dollars coming in every single solitary month, whether the members come in or not, whereas like in a restaurant franchise, someone's got to get up and say, I want a burger today, or I want a pizza.
Yeah.
With this,
constantly.
The money, the money's coming in monthly, which is awesome. And the segment that we're in is the high value, low cost gym segment. And what that means is, the equipment that we offer is top of the line. It's incredible. When people walk into our gym, they're blown away. They get the wow factor because the colors are so vibrant and beautiful. The equipment is so nice. There's so much of it. And so, to join a gym, a one club membership is only $19 a month. To join all of our gyms and get the premium amenities, that's only $10 more. So only $29.99 a month. And so, people are like, wow, all of this for that. And what we do find is that, if you're not using your membership maybe as much as you want to, typically the members will, as long as we're doing our job, which is keeping our clubs clean and sanitized, keeping our equipment well maintained, and hiring friendly, service-oriented people, if we do our job, then typically members are going to stay even if another club opens, or maybe if they're not using their club, the membership as much as they want to, because they want to know that they can be able to use it once their schedule gets less crazy.
They don't want to have to start over again.
Exactly.
Unless the pain is great enough. When you talk about some of those high value, high cost, the ones you just mentioned earlier with the huge, and I've enjoyed a few of those here and there, but when you're not consistent, boy, that number seems a lot bigger. So,
no doubt about it. No doubt. And I know a lot of people in the industry on all different levels. And and listen, there are some big boxes that, people they want. They've got families, they want the pools, they want all the other stuff. But and some people they like the different classes, the boutique types of places, and that's great. But the bulk of what most people are looking for is great cardio equipment, great strength equipment. And we do offer personal training and also small group classes. So we're able to accommodate those people looking for, those added services.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think it's just the industry itself evolves and learns, right? And people change. I was also, when I brought up what I said earlier, is in marketing, there is a sort of, if you look backwards, you could see how messages change because the audiences change in the way they receive them and they're used to them. And what was cool then isn't cool anymore. It's like, all right, that's expected or that's normal. But what you said, a couple of things just from a business standpoint. So I know in franchising, getting your local business owner, getting them going, getting them started is important. Obviously, then growing that business to its full potential or whatever that goal is has a lot to do with, I think, what you were saying. And that is, the speed at which you can acquire new folks to come in, which if the barrier to entry is low, high value, low cost, seems like that would be a quick decision, easy to do. And then it sticks, right? So that base sticks with you and you build it. So that in your business, it's having that base and building it slowly over time. And hopefully, I guess at some point you're maybe at capacity, but I'm sure it's hard to ever get there.
We've never
add locations, right?
Yeah, we've never been at capacity. We've never said, oh my gosh, we got to stop selling memberships ever. And we've got clubs that have got, more than 4,000 members. So, but the cool thing with another silver lining of COVID is flexibility that people have. And especially people, working from home, some working virtually, going into the office. For the people that are working from home, we're seeing them at the gym a whole lot more now and a lot more regularly, but at different times. And so used to, when people didn't have as much flexibility, you had your early morning workouts, your lunchtime workouts, and then your after work workouts. And now we're seeing people working out all day long, all different hours, which is really kind of cool. And, those people that are working from home, they want this social interaction. They want to get out of their house and get moving. And so coming to the gym, is a perfect thing for them to do. And typically our gyms are typically located close to residential. We're typically in a shopping center that's anchored by maybe a grocery store, somewhere that you're going to regularly visit, or a Dollar General or a Goodwill or Big Lots. And all of those places typically are close to residential locations. So that's COVID is definitely, we had our best year yet ever in 2022, both in membership growth and in franchise growth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, that speaks to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm very virtual in my profession now. And I speak to people like this virtually a lot. I have lots of
Right.
friends that way, but that human contact, right? So it's like I'm looking for ways to do that. And the gym is one of those ways. And I do look forward to that,
No doubt about it. And I tell
yeah.
you, a couple things from a marketing standpoint. Something that happens now much more than it did, years ago, are the number of people who will actually join online. And, so many people are so used to shopping online and doing their research and going to a website. And we're now 24% of our members are joining online now, which is awesome. Awesome for our franchisees, because they come in and they're like, oh, wow, I've already got 6 new members on the books for today. That's awesome. So that's one thing that's changed back, from the early days when we would send out postcards and, TV advertising and radio advertising. Well, marketing's changed so much. So much of what we do is online because changes can be made so quickly, and everyone's looking online to, for things to purchase and for decisions to, for information on things that they're interested in, so that they can make a decision on that. So it's been a game changer for our industry. And because we are so affordable, people feel comfortable joining online, because it's not like you're spending $500.
Yeah. It's a low risk to entry kind of idea. And I was going to ask you that. So if I'm starting a brand new fitness business, right? You're high value, low cost, and in really any fitness business. But I would assume that social marketing and search marketing, those two ideas where people are searching for things, solutions, ideas, whatever, or they learn about it through social. Obviously, the fitness industry is a leader in a lot of the social side of things because it's such a social thing, can be at least.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about how you do that when you're launching a franchise. What is sort of the process of, these are the most important ways to attack this. This is sort of, no, that's kind of going down a rabbit trail. We don't need to worry that much. But I sure you simplify that, because a lot of folks aren't experts at social marketing or search marketing. But how do you approach that for a new owner? Like what are the important things that you have to
well, I tell you, one of the reasons, the biggest reason I say to own a franchise is, when we talk about work at any time specifically, we started this 22 years ago. We've made the mistakes over the years so that you don't have to. And we've got proven processes and proven procedures. But most importantly, we've got a playbook. And we've got a playbook that for every aspect of our business. And if our franchisees will follow the playbook, they can do very, very, very well. And, in my business, I'm very, very forthcoming. My whole team is, as far as providing information. And, my job is to give you all the information that you need to make a great decision. And part of the due diligence that our franchisees go through is talking to current franchisees, talking to people who are doing what they're considering doing. And, and I want them to ask those questions. Tell me about the support that you get from the franchisor. Tell me about the real estate process. Tell me about your pre-sales. Tell me about your grand opening. Tell me about the marketing and how involved, the franchisor is. And we have a fantastic marketing department. And then we've got a creative agency and a PR agency that also are part of our team. And they all work together, both for the national marketing, regional marketing, and then local store marketing. And we're very, when we have groups come in for discovery day, we tell them, listen, you're not just going to be marketing just for pre-sales and grand opening. Marketing is something that you've got to continuously do. Right. Sometimes you see franchisees who, they're doing really, really well and they're making lots of money. And they start thinking, well, golly, I don't need to market anymore. I've got this many members and, things are going so great. And that's true. But you got to stay top of mind. People move in, people move out. You got to stay out there all the time. And marketing, comes in lots of different, there's lots of different ways to market. one of the ways from a Fran Dev standpoint, one of the things that we're doing is our four walls market. It's amazing how many members we get, how many franchisees we get who were members first. And they met us, they joined the gym, they looked around, they said, wow, I could see owning one of these gyms. I mean, Callie, you only need 3 to 4 employees. It's not this huge. I can see it being able to own and operate this. And a lot of my franchisees, 60% of my franchisees own multiple locations. And a lot of these franchisees do this in conjunction to other businesses that they own. I've got a franchisee that's got 21 McDonald's franchisees. They're purchasing their 6th location, where I just sent them out paperwork today, matter of fact. I've got an interesting story. Our largest franchisee, his name is Jerry Pugh and EJ Williams. And Jerry was a member in Cookeville, Tennessee. And Jerry is a serial entrepreneur. And he's actually got an agriculture business. And he's got these huge pieces of equipment, and they start in South Florida, Homestead, Florida, and they go all the way down the East Coast, and they harvest green beans. That's what they do. And so Jerry called us and he said, hey, he called the franchise department and said, hey, I was looking for a location in Homestead, Florida, and I couldn't find one. And I've got a second house here. And I think you guys would do really well here. You guys should open one here. So we have a software package called Buxton, and Buxton lets me look at literally every city across the country. And I can see population and competition and demographics and growth. And we use this to determine territories that are going to make sense for our franchisees. We also use it to make sure that we don't open too close to other franchisees, so there's not cannibalization. Right. We're able to see active members, and it's a fantastic tool. And so we ran the Buxton report, and we said, Jerry, we agree with you. We think Homestead would be a great location for a workout anytime. Why don't you open one? And he laughed, and he said, great talking to you. Have a great life. And ended up hanging up the phone, but thought about it. And he called us back about 2 weeks later. And sure enough, he opened his first location in Homestead, Florida. And he now has 21 locations in 6 states. So he is just crushing it. And a lot, like I said, a lot of our franchisees, the way they become familiar with us is by being members. So we put a tremendous emphasis on our 4 walls marketing to make sure that those people working out in our gyms know that there's an opportunity for them to own their own workout anytime.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, the localized market, the awareness of opportunity like that still, even though franchising is, I think, pretty in our faces, we know about franchises, but there's something about being reminded. Like if I were at a place I loved and they said, there's opportunities, like, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Right.
Even though I know, people buy franchises, they invest, they start them, but you don't go that. I think just letting people know, right? Letting them.
Well, it gets the wheels going. That's what it does. And and timing is everything. Someone may be a member, and 5 years down the road, we have another father-son team. And the son actually was a trainer for us with Workout Anytime, and did that for several years, and wanted to own his own location. He saw, how well the owners of the location he was training at, how well they were doing. So he got his father to partner up with them. So they opened their first location, and the dad, Bill, ended up spending a lot of time in his son's location, and really he went through the training that we offer. We have a whole academy that all of our franchise partners go through, and he went through the academy because he wanted to be able to inspect what he expected. And then he ended up retiring like 2 years in had a big career in printing, and said, you know what? I want to own my own gym. And he and his wife were going to retire up in LJ, Georgia. So we ran a Buxton report to see, how LJ looked as far as, the demographics of population, competition, growth, all that good stuff. Looked great. So sure enough, he opened his location. He's been there now almost 3 years. So his son has his locations, and now Bill has his location, and he loves it. And that's another group of people that we see a lot, that reach out to us a lot, are people who, they're going to be retiring in the next few years from whatever business they're in. They feel like they're too young to stop working, but this time around, they want to do something that they love and something that they're passionate about. And And a lot of our franchisees, we don't say that this is an absentee owner business, because it's not. You've got to be involved.
Yeah. Right.
And the people who are passionate about this business, people who are passionate about giving back. I mean, truly, this is a business where you're giving back. This is a business that literally everybody in the entire world needs, and almost everybody can afford it. I mean, what a beautiful thing that is. And that old saying, do something you love and you'll never work a day. And
yes,
I've had so many franchisees tell me that, and how it's fun, how they love this. They're making a difference. They're in a business that they really are passionate about. And hey, to be able to do something you love, something that you enjoy, something that you're helping others with, and be able to make some, good
money,
have the potential to make great money. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, it is. No, I mean, that you're describing a great business model. I mean, that is, I think, why I said earlier, fitness is one that I enjoy, because I think you have a direct, you're interacting directly with people and seeing results, right? And clearly, all, like you said, Americans, the numbers are out. We need to be in better shape. But so just in that thinking of franchisees, and I appreciate your time today. And as we wrap things up, when you were talking about those franchisees, over these years of talking to lots of candidates and working with lots of franchisees and seeing how they develop, is there something either you're looking for, a quality or an attribute that you say, yeah, that's one of the key ones? Or is there something you make sure you train to? But what is that? Could you share something that you just say, this is an ingredient, if you want to start a business, or one like this especially, this really helps? What would that be? What would that ingredient be?
People a lot of times will say, they'll ask us, what differentiates you from other gyms? And honestly, it's the people piece. It is absolutely the people piece. And we want our gyms to be like the Cheers of the gym space, where, where our franchisees and not all of our franchisees work in the gym day to day, especially, Jerry Pugh's got 21 locations. He can't be in a gym every day. But the people that you hire, we want them to truly have that connection with the members, where they know the first name of the member, and they know that he's married and has 3 kids and works at the post office or whatever. And the member knows the team. And we truly want those service-friendly oriented people, where when someone walks into our gym, they really do feel warm and welcome, and that's where we've put a tremendous amount of emphasis, is on building great teams. We offer incredible training. We don't charge our franchisees or their team members. We don't charge them anything to come to the training, because the better we can train them and the better we can help them do a great job within their gyms, it's going to be a win-win across the board. It's going to be a win for the franchisee. It's going to be a win for the members. And of course, it's going to be a win for corporate, because a club that does well, it's a win all the way across the board. So really, the people piece, and this is a business that you've got to like people. You've got to enjoy interacting and talking to people, because that's important in this business. And so I would say, and we've had people come to Discovery Day that's just not their. They're looking at this more of a business to maybe get in from the outside in and not really be involved in it. Mm-hmm. And this is a business to really do well. You've got to, we want people that are comfortable, interacting with other people, and people that are, that are truly passionate about health and fitness. I mean, you don't have to be a bodybuilder, but there's something to say about people who are gym people and who know how good it feels to work out regularly. And I teach group fitness classes today. I've been teaching since college, and I still teach 3 times a week. I'm a gym person, and I can't imagine not being a gym person. And I was in the gym space for American Fitness Center selling memberships. And actually, when I got out of college, I got into management, and then I was the area manager for them. So I was very, very involved in every aspect of the gym business. And selling memberships wasn't really selling, because I truly believed in it. I truly, I felt everyone that I ever spoke to it was clear that it was not a sales tool. I was not selling. I was, trying to get them on board to do something. The hardest, I always would say, the hardest thing about joining a club is joining a club. Once you're there, the easy thing is join now, and then let's get this into your regular routine. And that's where I say, if you have that connection with your members, it really is. It's a beautiful thing. It's like a big family, in your gym. There's nothing like it. Honestly, there's nothing like it. It's a special connection, and you feel good. You enjoy the camaraderie with the members and with your team members and with your other franchisees and with corporate, and we're all there to help all of us be better and do better, including our members.
Yeah. No, I mean, I in these kinds of business models, everything you're describing really helps folks. I mean, if I knew the folks at my gym, right, and I've been a member of different gyms, but the closer you are and the more you realize they know you, more value it is for you. And the more, again, to your point earlier, no one's going to cancel a membership ever. Like, just that little bit of personal touch.
Hi, Terry. How are you today? Great to see you. Or where have you been? Just those little things. Know you. I mean, people, they're like, oh my gosh, she realized I haven't been here in a month or whatever. It really, it goes far. And that's, I think what separates my brand from, other brands that are available, that are out there, truly is, it's the people business too. The people that are on my team, and this is every aspect, every from Sophia, who answers the phone and welcomes new franchisees into our office right when they walk in, to our franchise business consultants who work with our franchisees, to our marketing team, to our VP, our franchise operations team, franchise support team. Greg Maurer, he's our VP of education. He's the smartest guy I know. But the thing that we all have, Randy Trotter, who's our senior VP of real estate, the thing that we all have is we're all very passionate about health, fitness, and helping others. And and the support we provide truly is unwavering support. And I think when franchisees see this, and we don't just talk it, we walk it. We walk the walk, we talk the talk. They then try to duplicate that in their gyms, and that goes a long way, to make their gym successful. So it's a cool business. Awesome.
Well, could you do us a favor and share a website where folks can learn more?
I would love to. So our website is workoutanytime.com. And the cool thing about, and then you click on it, own a gym. And the cool thing about the whole FranDev section are there's tons of videos that are on our website, and they are franchisee videos, and they're unscripted. And it's just franchisees talking about all the different aspects of our business and owning a franchise, and the support and the real estate and the training and everything. But you're getting to hear firsthand from franchisees who've done exactly what you potentially are thinking about doing. And it's great information. And then, not only do you get to hear the videos, but part of our due diligence is actually talking to franchisees, truly jumping on a phone call or a Teams call or whatever. And learning about our business, our industry, our brand, our franchise, and, why they may want to become a part of it.
Wow, that sounds great. Sounds like you were saying earlier, there's plenty online to get to research and get started, and does a lot of our work for us when we can share that with folks up front. So, but that's very helpful to know that's there. I really appreciate your time today, Terri. It's been great having you on board. Again, I encourage people to check out Workout Anytime, and bye for now.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed being on your show as well, and I look forward to coming back.
You got it. Thanks, Terri.
Okay. Thank you.